Alright, so this video is going to be on how to solve log equations, but specifically when you have a log on each side. So we've already dealt with some where we had logs only on one side, and if you guys remember, we had two methods for solving those. One method was to use the Tootsie Roll, one method was to do kind of inverses. And when we do logs on both sides, we're only going to use the inverse method. So if you want to stay consistent, you could just say, all right, I should use inverses every time. So the first problem we're going to look at is number 3 because it's really simple. So for number 3, it says log base 6 of x equals log base 6 of 5. If I want to get rid of the log base 6, then I need to do the inverse of that. So inverses of logs are exponents. So we're going to write this as a base of 6 to the exponent of log 6, and a base of 6 to the exponent of log 6. And the 6 and the log 6 are going to cancel. You get x equals 5. And as per usual, we just want to make sure that our answer can be plugged into a log and we're not taking the log of a negative and we're not taking the log of 0. So if I plug 5 in for x, then obviously that's going to be okay. So we're going to do the same thing over here. If I want to get rid of an ln, I have to use the base of that. That's a log base e. So I'm going to say e raised to the ln, e raised to the ln, and then those are going to cancel. And I get 3x minus 1 equals 2x plus 5. So we're taking this away from being a math 3 equation. It was when it was logs, but now it's a math 1 equation. So now we're just getting the exponent, or the variable to one side, the numbers to the other side. So I can go ahead and subtract 2x, and I get x minus 1 equals 5, and I can add that 1 over, and I get x equals 6. So 3 times 6 take away 1, that's going to be positive. 2 times 6 plus 5, that's going to be positive. So that one is good. All right, we're also going to look at number 8. So again, we've got ln's this time. So the base that I need is an e. So e to the ln, e to the ln, and those cancel. And we get p squared minus 2 equals p. So here we've got a quadratic to solve. And if you guys remember, we have 2 solution methods for quadratics. We can use the quadratic formula, or we can factor. So to do either one of those, we need to make it equal 0 first. So I'm going to go ahead and take this p and move it over to the other side. P squared minus p minus 2 equals 0. And then I'll go ahead and factor this. This is a pretty good one to factor. So we're multiplying to negative 2, but adding to negative 1. And the numbers that would do that would be negative 2 and positive 1. So we've got p minus 2 and p plus 1. So p equals 2, p equals negative 1. And then I just have to double check and make sure my answers are okay. So 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 2 is good. And then 2 over here is fine. Negative 1 squared gives you 1, and 1 minus 2 is going to give you a negative. So this is a bad answer. All right, and I think we'll call it good there. So just make sure that when you are using this method, you can only kind of cancel out one log on each side if you actually have a log on each side. If not, you need to do it the way that we did it yesterday.